It's December 7th. And I'm sitting here in my bed. And I don't feel like moving. I'm comfortable. I'm not moving. I'm not going in that chair and recording anything, looking all. I don't feel like the light. I just feel like getting my message out. I hope that's okay. And you may hear my kids in the background. I don't remember the name of the game that they're playing, but it's like loud outbursts, as if, you know how people are when they watch football games? Like, that's the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, it's December the 7th. It's the full moon. I've been feeling all types of energy. I've been feeling ancestral energy. I've been feeling this one specific type of energy come upon me on my right side constantly. And I noticed within the last couple of days that when I hold my granddaughter, she looks to my right and smiles a lot. And I just go with it. I just go with it. It's amazing how when kids are babies, the way that they act and react to things, we're just so fascinated by it, and then we start teaching them all of the things that make them blind to those initial feelings that they feel and things that they see. It's like the things that they learn block them from having that open wave. So I'm never blocking her from that. I never blocked any of my other kids from it either, which is why all of my kids are really intuitive. But I'm feeling tons of energy. I feel a lot of happiness and I feel a lot of confusion. Not from me, from the outside. The happiness is from me. It's from me being in a solid state of where I am and being okay with it. The confusion is coming from the outside towards me. And I know it's very specific, from a specific group of people who believe specific things and are confused about my language in now these later days. I was raised Christian. I'm going to try to cut this real short. And this is most likely 90% of a lot of people's story who somehow land into talking about the sun, moon, and stars and tarot and all that other kind of stuff. I was raised Christian, and I used to ask my uncles questions that would get me kicked out of his study. My uncle's a minister, my mom's an evangelist. My uncle used to get so tired of me because my questions were like the never-ending damn story. It got to many points where he's like, Jennifer, go look for your mother. Go look for your mom. Get out. I don't know. And I was fine with that. I went home and talked to God about it. That open line of communication that I kept between me and God has got me where I am right now. I just want people to know that I am so exhausted of division and how people think it's okay to keep putting it there when it comes to one commonality in all of this is reaching a higher place of wisdom and a more freeing way to express yourself spiritually. Okay? I had to explain to my mom one day because she came to my house when I wasn't here. This was the second time she came here after I got this house. And she called me on the phone and she's like, Jennifer, you know I meant to say this to you the first time I came here because I went inside of your room and I looked on your mantelpiece and all of these tarot cards are here. What are those for? And I said, Well, did you open it and look at it? She's, no, I wouldn't do that. Why would I touch those things? I don't know. Why would you? And so I just always find it funny how when you start learning about one thing, humans have been taught that the nature of things is that when you learn one thing, you put away the other. And that is not true. That's not wisdom. That's not true at all. People will have you believing that it's true, but they'll only do that based out of fear and out of them wanting you to believe what you say. Wanting them to believe what they say. Sorry. Or you say, whatever. Whatever context you want to use that in. But I holler. I could not stop laughing. So she goes on and on and on and on. And I'm like, Mom. And if I sound like Kermit the Frog, I'm sorry. I'm getting over a flu. I said, Mom, you gotta calm down. Honest. You let me remind you of these many conversations we've had. What did I tell you? When I learn about things, I'm not putting away anything else. Just because you see my interest peak in it and I'm so in it, I didn't forget anything else. Please do not fool yourself into believing that. And it's hard for people to grip that concept of believing in this, that, and the other when they have only allowed their mind to wrap around one concept. It's hard for them to get it. It's available for them to get, but it's hard for them to get it because they just, damn it, don't want to. So here she go. She's like, she said, well, Jen, I just want you to be careful. I'm going to continue to pray for you. You know, when we were younger, we played around with that Ouija board. I said, whoa. I said, now let me tell you something. You ain't ever in your life got to worry about me playing around with a damn Ouija board. Now I see why you got scared. But that's not me, honey. That's not me. That's not me. You know, I get into these conversations with her and a couple other people all the time where I'm saying everything has duality. Everything has an upside and a downside. You look at all of these religions and you hear about all of these things that happen in the dark that don't nobody never want to talk about because they want to hold the face of what the religion is supposed to look like. But every religion is supposed to look like love towards God and man. Every religion is supposed to look like love towards God and man. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. Every religion is supposed to look like love towards God and man. So when you put a number of different religions next to each other and you have people comparing and feeling like one is better than the other, tell me where God is in that. Why is he in your competition? That's your competitive nature being brought over to something religious. Being brought over to something spiritual. When you're supposed to just be making sure that everybody is taken care of. If your way of reaching God is through this form, then follow that. If your way of reaching God is through that form, then follow that. If you found multiple ways of reaching God and you've become this vibrant vessel that God uses in multiple places for multiple reasons, doing multiple things, do that. It's nobody else's position or right to judge you based on what you do, and especially if it's fruitful and God agrees. And that is that. You know, so I just get agitated when I hear people fight and argue about religion. I get agitated when I hear people have pushed a person away or made them feel isolated because they believe what they believe. I get agitated when I come upon a group of people, and you can tell when people have been talking about you, you can tell what they've said about you, and then when everybody get quiet around, you get uncomfortable, and that shit is annoying. And the one thing about my experience that I see ever so often, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people see this too. You'll hear people say, you shouldn't even be following that tarot stuff. You know, I don't know why you talking about you flipping them cards. And form of guidance. It's no different than the Bible. It's words on a paper. There's words on a tablet. I'm sorry, not a tablet. Words on a deck of cards. Inspirational, guided words, right? So you hear people say things like, and this what gets me every time. I'm going to talk about Christians because I was raised Christian, and I don't care. And we can go back and forth. Matter of fact, I don't even know why I was about to say that. I will not go back and forth with you. I won't do it. I just won't. You'll stand there arguing with yourself. Because I'm not going to argue. An argument is not going to get us to agree. Disagreeing will probably get us to agree. But the one thing that often kicks my ass is you'll hear somebody of a certain religion talk about not believing in tarot, it's the devil, it's this, that, and the other. But they will be so hyped to let you know what their astrological sign is. It drives me up a damn wall. Is there any separation in it? Oh, it works as long as you're talking about this part of it. But that other part of it, no, no, no. Shut up. It's all inclusive. We're not separating anything. You sit there, you really will in your head judge somebody when you hear them start to use another language other than what you use to describe spiritual experiences. And they won't be limited towards you, but you'll be limited towards them. And it just proves my theory of how when a person chooses to just believe one thing, that's what their mind is limited to. Their mind is not going to expand to anything else. So arguing with them is completely useless. It's useless. It's dumb. It doesn't take anything away from anybody. You know how many people convert from one religion to another? Have they died from converting to no. They found a different route because they were searching for something deeper, searching for a deeper spiritual connection, and they found one that worked better for them. It is no different. It doesn't disclude God. It doesn't disclude, for me, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I am very good friends with a Muslim female who is very deep and strong and passionate in her belief, as am I. And when it comes to astrology, we are like Bopsy twins, and we don't try to overshadow the other or try to make one person believe that this works better with that religion. There is none of that. And it just proves what I'm talking about right now, about how all of these things are really existing so we can learn how to bring them together. But we've been taught separation. Separation, we've been taught that since the beginning of time. That happened with sex. That happened with the split of one cell. Is this getting too deep too quick? Cool, I'll stop. I'll come back to that story later. That's way too deep to just jump right into right now. But anyway, it's exhausting. I really just, and you can feel the judgment come through. Like when I post certain things about moon phases or energy, or just whenever I say something enlightening, it's like people who've been around me long enough that know me and know how I talk and know what I believe, know these things are not new. It's just a different type of expression that comes from me now. So now I'm way more open about speaking about it. Not that I was, no, I think I will say I was closed about it, because it's almost like I didn't realize that I was being closed up about it because of how I was raised. And this is why I can say what I'm saying. it's just so annoying when you watch people sit there and talk all of this trash and be so judgmental. I don't even know if I'm being judgmental right now. Am I? I don't know. I don't think I am. I'm just stating the facts. Like, I'm not going to hold it against you. You sit here and you talk to me about anything that you want, any religion, any sex subject, any emotion, anything. And I'm all ears and I'm listening. That's just what I do. And I'm talking back and I'm giving advice. And I'm not going to make you feel bad about what you believe. I'm just going to be honest, even if I don't agree. Because I feel like if you bring up a subject, you absolutely deserve that much. You deserve the honesty of it. So I'm just sick of the shit, man. Like, this is me bringing up my honesty. I'm tired of people believing wholeheartedly that they're sold out for one thing and they partially tiptoe in other areas and then hold the knife against your back. Like, what? Can't take it. It drives me freaking crazy. And so I just feel that energy and I'm acknowledging it because I just am. Like, see, I feel like if I don't say anything, then I'll be just like the person that's not saying anything to me about how they feel that I've been speaking lately. Oh, she into this stuff now? I've been into this stuff. Deeply now more than ever, but when you get on this wave and when you really develop a relationship with your creator, you get to see how wide life really is. And a spiritual journey is really deep first. It's very deep first. And then it becomes very wide. And the experiences that you have throughout your awakening process, you can try to write them down. You can try to talk about it. A lot of times I say, I wish I could hook my head up to a machine that would just show projected thoughts so people could just see it. Because some things I just can't. Some things, that's how I feel, right? But it's like you can feel it and you know what it is. It's just so big, it vibrates so high that you can't put it into English. Like, it's no human language that can talk about it. It's like that. And so it's like, when you start to see these things and have these open visions, and then you hear people echo the same things that they've been echoing for 12 years, all of a sudden, it's not that doesn't matter, but you've seen such a bigger picture. It's like, wow, how could y'all only think that? And then when you try to express yourself or express that to them, it's it's all that. Nobody had time for none of that. Especially when you know more now. And it's not that you're trying to make people, not trying to scare them out of their wits or move them away from what they believe, but they need to believe that they can pick up what they have and bring it on the journey with them. It's not to be put to the side. It's not to collect dust. It's not to sit over there and be all tight. No, it's to be juicy and to become a being. How many spectrums of color are in light? How many? You think that just one stinking color and one stinking religion and one stinking race is supposed to be the solution to all this? I work for a multimedia company. Not going to say its name. And I work on the business side of it, right? And I talk to customers, we talk to customers every day that drive us crazy, and all they do is complain. And I was talking to one of the supervisors there the other day, and he said, you know what you got to remember, Jen? All the people that you're talking to are 5% of this huge company that have problems. The other 95 are smooth sailing. They don't have issues. All of y'all are only here for 5% of a multi-billion-dollar business. A handful of people that just have issues with the service. And I feel like that's how it is when it comes to spiritual things too. There are so many different sectors and different ways that we could be spread about doing things positively, and 95% of people will probably believe that at first. But if 5% of people scream negativity louder and the 95% of people are quiet, then the 5% are going to seem predominant. And that's the problem. Get on my nerves. All this racism and all this other shit. Dogs and cats can't live in the same house. I got a dog and a cat right now. All they do is sleep together and fight. They sisters. You know, they tussle. And then in the middle of the night, I go to look, and they laying all up next to each other like they're each other's rugs to lay on. What? It's a choice. You adapt to your environment. And if your environment is full of BS, then that's exactly what you're going to adapt to. So maybe it's you who needs to do some work and readapt. This world is going through so many different changes, and it's changing regardless of whether people want to stay stagnant, boring, and just in one lane. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. But what I'm saying is there's so much more available, and we always limit ourselves because that's what we've been taught. 111, get this done. 111, get this. There's so many different ways that you can do things in a multifaceted way. And spirituality is definitely one of them. So, I hope that I made my point. I hope you can appreciate this lazy video. Okay, because I have a bunch of stuff spread out right now that I'm going over, and my legs are warm, and it's cold in Philly. I'm cold, and so that means I'm staying under my covers. And as long as you got my point, then I don't care if I'm sitting here with hooded pajamas on. You got it, and that's it. I had to just jump right in what I was talking about so I didn't lose my thoughts. So I barely introduced myself. I don't think I did that a lot on the few videos that I have posted. I have this habit of really needing to just blurt it out so that I don't forget. So, I took one of my braids out. I didn't really want anybody to see it. I have this habit of just doing this, but whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Listen, I'm going to be posting some more videos soon, so excuse the way I sound with this cold, but ciao, guys. Ciao.